We're live, and he's just had to jump out. Look at that. We've been sat here chatting shit for 10 minutes. I press live, and he legs it.
I'm back in
He's
the game.
back. He's back. Etham Yates, thanks for joining me, mate.
How are you doing?
Oh, not bad. I'm glad I didn't wear my sleeveless if I've got to compete with you.
Well, I noticed you wore your sleeveless on the last one. So I thought, and plus I've got this new fancy Mergen Defiant collab t-shirt that, or vest that's limited edition. So I thought, why
Mate,
not?
it's good. These are going to be good. So for anyone that doesn't know, like me and John from Mergs have been working on a few bits together, and we said we were going to try and do something, a bit of a collab tee. So we've had a bit of a mini shoot today. Took a few bits of content for it, and we'll be getting them out in the next couple of weeks, I think. See how we get on. But it's been, we got a pretty cool design for it, didn't we? And black on black that I'm sporting now. And then the big fancy design that's on the back of yours.
Biceps aren't included, unfortunately.
Fucking hell, we're off to a good start. So, are you just doing your admin on that laptop, mate, or do you need me?
Yeah, I'm trying to see myself. That's what I'm trying to do.
Of course you are. I
want to know what I look like.
Well, you must do it. What's up? Have you not looked in the mirror for the last 20 seconds or something?
Well, it's tough. I'm pumped. I just need it.
What have you done today? Have you done it? Have you worked out today?
I worked out today. Today's been a busy day at the gym. I did. In fact, Zach Wilds just left. He was at the gym. He popped in for some snatch. Got absolutely humbled
Nice.
by some snatches. Trained this morning, 8 o'clock. The new time to train. I've got a group. We call ourselves the Huffers and Puffers. Those that are in the Navy will know there's a group of people that aren't very fit, and if you're down for remedial training, you go to Huffers and Puffers, pretty much because you're not very fit, so it kind of sells itself. But it's also not as serious, like you're not with all the big hitters that are going to take it mega seriously. So we call ourselves the Huffers and Puffers. 0800, you're pretty much out a workout, and everyone just bastardizes it to suit themselves, which is it's getting quite good. It was just me and one other person, but now there's about 6 or 7 of us that go there, and it's just like a 45-minute slog, one thing roll into another thing until the 9:30 class, and then we go back to work.
So when did you decide that you weren't that fit then? When did you make that realization?
I keep on saying it. Harley's now the new up-and-coming member at 17. So I've kind of passed the baton on to him.
You know when you think about like fitness like that, so obviously you are still very fit, but you're managing so you're sort of comparing yourself to previous versions of yourself when you were potentially fitter, which is why you say you're not fit. Do you think, like, I'm not sure, like, I don't know, when you've got a gym full of people that'd love to be like maybe quarter as fit as what you are, do you think that like walking around saying you're not fit and that is like, do they get that you're taking the piss and having a bit of fun at yourself there?
It's one of those, everyone wants to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And you get some people that are, shredded, like people that go on stage, bodybuilders, and they say that they're not in peak physique. And you look at them, you're like, I can see your muscle fibers. Like, what more do you want? And it's one of those, as soon as you start training, I say to everyone, that's you. You're never going to be happy with yourself. I'll take the wife as an example. She's obviously lost loads of weight, looks incredible now, but yet still gives herself a hard time for how she looks. And I'm like, how about you look at a before and after picture and you now tell me you're not happy with what you look like? And it's the same with like fitness. And it is because you just constantly want more and more and more. And eventually there's age that comes into effect as well. You're not comparing yourself to other people. I'm comparing myself to who I want to be or the best version of myself. It might be upsetting to other people, but at the same time, I'm not saying I'm not very fit comparing myself to members at the gym, or I'm not very fit comparing myself to the top end CrossFit athletes. I'm just saying I want better for myself.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. So do you think that's what, so like I'm just sort of just exploring this in real time now. So do you think that's what separates CrossFitters and people that do CrossFit, obviously because that's rock hard and stuff, from other people that go to the gym? Now, I know that there's an overlap, but is it that ability to be humbled on a daily basis by other people and not worry too much? Do you think you have to have that mentality to be able to keep coming back to a CrossFit gym?
Yeah, I had a new member in today. He's never done CrossFit before. He thinks he likes it. And I said to him, I says, what do you do? He says he's done a bit of boxing in the past. I'm like, oh, so you like getting punched in the face? Because if you don't like getting punched in the face, you're not going to like boxing.
Yeah.
And it's the same with CrossFit. If you don't like being humbled daily, getting your ass handed to you, you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
And again, it says it all the time. Anyone can do CrossFit, but CrossFit isn't for everyone. And unless you like, you know, a little bit of a reality check, you need to know that there's always somewhere you can improve. It's not this activity, sport, hobby for you.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And that new messaging that's coming out of CrossFit, me and Elliot talked about it at length. That's kind of playing into that a lot, isn't it? It's like, this is going to be hard. This thing's not going to be easy. If you want to do that, then come and do it. And if you don't, then you're going to struggle to fit in. And do you think that is? Do you like that messaging that's coming out now?
Definitely, it's I like it because it's very true. But at the same time, like the coaches, we don't tell you how hard to push. We encourage you to push harder, and we're always going to encourage you to go a little bit faster, hold that higher pace, fight for the position to make it a little bit harder. But at the end of the day, we're giving you a workout and you're pushing yourself, so you make it hard. A prime example, the other day, it was 10 burpees, 10 box jump overs, remained in time, max calories on the bike. I've never been so angry. Like, it genuinely hurt me. Like, that workout, my legs felt like concrete. And it only hurt me because I pushed myself that hard. It didn't have to be that hard. So it's one of those, like, almost the fitter you are, the more it can hurt. But I did it to myself. Yeah. So yeah, it is going to be hard, but you need to be ready for that. And you also need to push yourself to make it hurt. Like, the coaches can only guide you or try and advise you on what to do. But again, why are you doing it? Are you doing it to increase your health markers? Are you doing it for performance? Or are you doing it for longevity? Because all those three have different intensities.
Yeah, I think that's the thing sometimes with CrossFit programming, isn't it? It can look really simple and really easy. You know, like 2K row is a prime example, isn't it? Like, you just, you know, some people will come into the gym when it's 2K row and just pull rower, get off and go home thinking that workout was shit. And others, they'll be badly till dinner time. You know what I mean? And they've done the same workout. And it's like, it's that intensity that you're willing to reach, I guess, isn't it? Like, the workout tomorrow at Project, it's 6 rounds, every 6 minutes, 400-meter run, 20 cal row, 20 cal echo, rest the remainder of the 6 minutes. And then the last round is for time. And that's your score. And that's just fucking, that's going to be outrageous, that.
Yeah, and again, it's again, like, how do you approach that? Because personally, I would use the first round to go in, and I would try and go for negative splits. That's how I would do it straight away. And I'd want to slowly get faster. So when it comes to that last round, and I've got to, like, pull the pin, like, I'm firing. Because again, there's no point of going hard in the first one, as long as you're coming within, but you want to slowly build that pace, build a pace up. But that's if you want a good score. If you just want to thrash yourself, send every round.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
5%
again,
every
it's
round. There'll be no intensity in that last round.
but I mean that's it. But like, but you say you've had a good workout. But again, if the aim is to get the score, and do you know what I mean? And this is the thing that I tell my members a lot. Like, what's your goal? Do you want a good number on the leaderboard? Because if you do, this is how you approach the workout. If you're trying to work something else, this is how you would approach the workout. And again, it's like, okay, so this is the overall stimulus we want, but for you to feel like you're improving yourself, you still need to have an individual goal. And sometimes, every now and then, it might mean changing the stimulus of the workout slightly to suit you, so you see improvements, and you think, oh, okay, that's working for me. Because again, the affiliate programming is very generic. It's overarching. It covers a lot, but if you've got the chance to work on your 400-meter running time, I want you to send that 400-meter run. Can you go 1:30 every run? That's definitely going to compromise your calories, but because I want you're working on your running, I want to see if you can consistently hit 1:30. And then they're the sort of conversations that I have with my members that have specific goals. And again, it just makes it now doesn't matter as much when it comes to, I mean, I don't know what other gyms are like, but I know when it comes to the scoreboard, sometimes it can get a little bit sensitive, and people, oh, they did this, they did that, they didn't do it correctly, and they haven't said they've scaled. Whereas now it's like, well, who cares? Because I told them to take 2 minutes on the run so they could send the calories. I told them to go 1:30 on the run, so now their calories are going to be 90 seconds. And again, now
do you do that? Do you do that based on? So like members that do have specific goals, then you wouldn't like necessarily go around all members and say this is a stimulus you should reach. Is it like at the start of the class you'll explain the basic stimulus of the workout, and then you might go to others that have come to you with specific goals and give them additional advice on top and say that's a stimulus of the workout, but based on what I know you want to do, this is what I want to see from you. Do you do that kind of stuff?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so again, all my members, they can book in with me for a one-to-one, and so I know what their individual goals are. So so when they are training, I've got something to talk about with them, and I know where they're going, and I can explain to them how to reach their goals. Because a lot of people, again, you can come to class, you can do class, and you can not really improve if you don't really know, or again, you want something, but you don't know how to get it. So at least now I can say, right, again, Steve, you really want to, start improving your running. This workout, I want to see how long you can maintain this for. Again, we're compromising the workout, but we've got loads of 400-meter repeats in. So let's see if we can hit this.
Okay.
Yes, and so it's not everyone, but then at the same time, I will be like, this is the stimulus, this is what we're aiming for. Again, it's always 2 minutes for 400 meters. You should know what 20 calories are going to take you by now. Let's start at that and slowly get faster.
Yeah, that makes sense. So is that something you do with every member that walks through the door? Then you'll sit down and say, why are you here? What are you coming for? Like that kind of initial induction. Is that part of the induction process?
Yeah, so everyone that comes in now, we sit down early as possible. And then again at the 3-month point, because I feel like that's when everything's starting to make sense. Initially, what do you want to come to the gym for? Lose weight, tone up, get fit. It's always quite generic. Then when they start to understand CrossFit, then they're like, oh, I want to improve. I want to get kipping pull-ups. I want to, I don't know, enter my first competition, whatever it is. And then it can be a bit more specific. But at the same time, all the members at any given point can book in for a one-to-one with me, just to go over goals, targets, and just let me know where they are with their training. Just as a little catch up. And then again, I can relay that over to the coaches and say, just so you know, Steve's got a marathon coming up, so he's focusing a lot on his running, is steady state. He wants a sub 3-hour marathon. So let's make sure we're holding them accountable in this, in on those workouts that we can.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sub-3
Right,
hours.
before we go on, I don't know if you can like exit and rejoin because your rate blurry, and I don't know if it's the connection or something, mate. Is your Wi-Fi good, or have you got the laptop running as well?
I can try and rejoin it.
Yeah, do that, because when I don't know if it is me. It's just not crystal clear, that's all.
Again, this is why I went on my phone instead of laptop. Can you?
I mean, it's not bad. Like, so I'm looking at it on the Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Okay, stand by. Yo.
Yeah.
Is that any better?
Yeah, it's the better. I think, is it that front of your camera on your laptop?
Yeah, that is my camera. I'm now on my laptop.
Yeah, just give your front camera a wipe and we'll be sound.
No, now I'm on my laptop. Before I was on my camera.
Yeah, I mean, but just it looks just a bit blurry. If you've got just use your top or something and just wipe the front lens at camera. And then
my laptop
you're being glorious HD. There you go. That's a bit better. There we go. That's better, mate. Yeah.
Sweet.
Camera quality isn't as good, but you're not as bitty, so that's down. Right. So yeah. So back to that. So someone comes in. It's all about what they want to get from it. So and is that like just so that you can help them? Because I guess you're sort of, I don't want to say reputation as such, but you know what I mean? You want people to come to the gym with a clear goal so you can actually help them, because then they're going to feel like, even though the class is the class, they are still getting that one-to-one coaching element. They're still going to get the goals, going to reach the goals that they've set. And then overall, then that's going to be a much better experience, and sort of they'll tell more people about 17, I guess.
Yeah, that is a big overarching part of it. But to be a bit more dialed in, obviously, I love CrossFit. I feel like, I could talk all day about it. But for me, it's people say CrossFit isn't very good. And I'm like, that's because you're not utilizing it correctly. A prime example, those that are affiliated, that say they don't get a lot from CrossFit. I'm like, are you utilizing everything they offer? No, you're not. That's why you're not saying it's very good. And it's the same with a CrossFit gym. Are you utilizing your coaches to their potential? Like, okay, people might not put us in the same bracket as specialists. I would, because you come to me with any sort of health marker that you want to improve on. I'm telling you now, I can improve it via CrossFit. But you need to come to me to tell me what that issue is. And it's frustrating for me when I see CrossFit getting a bad name. One, because it's my income, and two, because I know it can help. Like, there's no other training method out there that's comparison that you can compete with. But again, it boils back down to, are you utilizing your affiliate to its potential? And then you've got the coaches. That a lot of coaches are very knowledgeable. It's like, yes, we can read a whiteboard. Well, I can just about read, but I can tell you what the workout is. But I can also do a lot more. But I'm not going to bore you with it unless I know you want it. And that's where I think that one-to-one side comes in. And everyone says, oh, CrossFit's like one-to-one, it's small group PT. Well, let's start showing the members that, and giving them the value that they can have, and also that they're paying for.
Yeah, so, when you say like CrossFit, then when you talk about CrossFit then, like you did then, are you talking about CrossFit in its entirety, including the pyramid? So we started at nutrition and that as part of the methodology, or are you just talking about the physical elements of the methodology? Because anyone can walk into any gym, I guess, and get a decent stimulus, but because CrossFit were created with particular steps in mind, that is obviously part of it, isn't it? And is that part of what you try and teach with what you're doing?
Yeah, so again, I had someone walk in today. Literally doesn't happen very often, but he walked in today, and one of the first things we spoke about was his nutrition. He clearly said that his goal was to lose weight, and I was like, "Well, what are you doing about it?" He says he's on 1,500 calories, and I was like, "Who put you on that?" So before we even start talking about training, we're talking in depth about his nutrition, his calories in, calories out, his NEAT, all that side of it. The training's easy. Just go in there, move, lift something, move it safely, and that's it done. The nutrition, like you said, it's the foundation of the pyramid. And if you get that wrong, then it doesn't really matter what you're doing in the gym for an hour. It could be the best programming, take proven, take whoever's programming you want to follow. But if you're not getting the nutrition, it doesn't really matter about how good the workout is, because if you're not fueling yourself, one, you're not going to perform to your potential, and two, everything you've just done is you've now wasted. And I feel like that is a big side of coaching that a lot of people just don't talk about. When I take the kids class, always finish it with what we're going to eat now. My kids class from 7 up to teens, and they all now that come regularly know the difference between carbs, fats, and proteins, when they should be eating it, and the benefits of them. And the parents are coming to me saying, "Oh, they always want a protein yogurt." I'm like, "Good." And it's like they need to know it from a young age. I don't necessarily harp on as much with the adults because I don't teach them to suck eggs. But then we've got the nutrition group for those that are bothered. And I do try and sprinkle a little bit more in there. We've now got the CAF area, and we do stuff like the GSN stuff, and people are like, "Is that all you eat?" And it's like, well, it's clean, it's easy, and again, I do try and use it as a conversation starter to start talking about the nutrition.
Yeah, I think there's like a real lack of understanding and education when it comes to nutrition in everywhere in the world, but obviously we're more prominent where we are, because I think about myself and what I've learned about it. Like, I remember when I was about 17 stone and I lost that weight. I didn't train when I lost that weight. I just ate soup. I basically had a bowl of cereal for my breakfast, a bowl of soup for my dinner with a pack of crisps, and a bowl of soup for my tea with a slice of bread and butter. And I did that for about 4 or 5 months, lost all that weight. And I didn't even realize it were a calorie deficit. I just thought the soup was some magic potion that made you lose weight. And people would say to me, "How did you lose weight?" And I was like, "Oh, soup diet." And then it weren't until later on that I understood it. And, I like to think of myself as not a retard, but that was just, that was just my understanding. I had no idea that how calories worked and stuff like that. And I just think there is just that lack of understanding, because you don't learn it at school. And then, when you go to a doctor's, anyone that goes to a doctor for nutrition advice is probably getting similar advice to what I would have given you back in the soup days, because they don't seem to have a clue. They want to prescribe a pill or an injection rather than a fucking diet. So it's like there's nobody teaching that stuff anywhere, is there?
No, but then where did you get that information from? Like, as a member, you're going to your gym to get it. And again, it's like when I start talking about inverse stretch reflex. You as a member don't need to know about the inverse stretch reflex. Yeah. I, as a coach, need to know about it, and I need to get that message across to you without boring you with all the science. Again, and it comes down to, again, we could go deep into a cellular level with nutrition, but we don't need to. It's carbs, fats, and protein. Unless you're trying to hit a weight, unless you're dehydrating, unless you're doing something specific for a weight gaining category, it's relatively simple. What are carbs for? What are fats for? What are protein? How much you should be eating of each, and go away and eat those foods on the most basic level. And if you're not telling, or if you haven't got access to that information, or your members haven't got access to that information via a coach who's willing to talk about it, then yeah, you are giving them a massive disservice. And again,
we've got 2 in-body groups where, again, we use the in-body machine to track we don't track weight, we track muscle mass and body fat, because weight doesn't really matter. And in those groups, that's when we can get geeky and I can start boring them. Well, not boring them because they're interested. And that's when I can tell them on a deeper level. Outside of that, I will try and keep it relatively brief so they don't get bored. But those that do care a little bit more can now be in the in-body group, and then they can start wondering, wow, why has my muscle dropped off? I've been keeping my macros as they should. And I can now look at their calories, look at their expenditure, and explain to them probably the overtraining or whatever the reason will be. But it comes down to tracking. If you're not tracking, then we're not going to know the answer.
And like when you were saying the resources that are available to people that have CrossFit gyms that maybe not utilize them, I want to come back to that in a bit more detail in a minute, actually. But is nutrition part of the stuff that you can get from CrossFit if you want it? Is it out there yeah?
So I think they was giving it away with the judges course this year. So if you've done your judges course, it might have been your advanced judges course. If you did your advanced judges course, you get the nutrition course online as well. Again, I did my nutrition course ages ago, and I've got other nutrition qualifications. But even your level 1, they talk about nutrition enough for you to pass on good information to the members at a level that's going to help the average member come in and need to know what they're missing out their lifestyle. If they need to know a little bit more than that, then obviously it's up to the coaches to upskill. And I feel like, you should have a point of contact or an SME within the gym that you can signpost them to and be like, right, there you go. Elliot's your man at Project. Go and talk to him. He knows all about nutrition. All I can tell you is have protein after you've had something to eat. Or after you've trained, sorry. That's as far as my knowledge goes. But then it's also down to the coaches to be honest with themselves and not feed the members bullshit and be like, okay, I'm just a coach. I can read a whiteboard. I can instruct a class. Go and talk to that coach because that's their bag. If you want to know about zone 2 training, that's me. I love it. Whereas, again, you see some people get themselves stuck in a little hole talking about stuff they shouldn't. Again, prime example, it was quite funny. Won't name any names. I was in the military and we do a nutrition brief. And I sat in on one of the nutrition briefs just because I find it interesting. And this person asked a question and I could see his cogs were turning. And rather than saying, you don't need to know that, you're a trainee, he started going in depth about insulin and all sorts. I'm like, why are you talking about insulin? Like, they don't need to know that. And he started talking about glycogen spikes. I'm like, just stop, because it's all wrong. But because he wanted to keep his credibility, this trainee didn't have a clue. I did. And I'm like, now I think you're an idiot. I used to respect you, but because you couldn't just park it and be like, you don't need to know that. All you need to worry about is don't go to the fucking shop on camp and eat shit at the weekend. And that would have been enough for that person. But instead, he tried to give him a little bit more information than he needed. And again, I now thought you're an idiot. And if that was taking it out of the military in the gym, and I heard that passing comment as another member, I'm like, why have you just done that? Yeah.
Do you think like, I know it's kind of, I don't know that person, obviously, but do you think that's just one of the things in society, or like, you'll see it wherever you are and stuff, that people aren't confident enough to say that they don't know about a subject, so they'll actually make themselves look more stupid through ego by talking shit about something they don't understand, rather than having the balls to go, actually, I don't know much about that. Let's find out together, or something like that, because that's how we learn and get better, isn't it?
Again, it depends on where you are and how confident you are with yourself. This happens a lot. I'm not a physio. I know movement. When movement's not right, I know it's not right. Why it's not right, I can't tell you. You should be able to do this. I don't know why you can. Go and see a physio. We've got physios all over the gym. Go and talk to them. Let me know what they say to you, and then I can help continue. But what I can't do is start telling you what muscles are tight. I can tell. I know roughly what's tight, but I want you to go and speak to them. And I say it all the time. We've got a physio attached to us next door, and it's great because I'm like, go and see her. Again, it helps her do her job, which is then going to help me do my job better. Whereas if I start prescribing a movement that I think, oh, you've got tight shoulders. Oh, I know, I've seen so-and-so do this movement, and it doesn't help because the issue is actually a swollen ankle. Like, I'm now the idiot because, Etham at 17 told me I should be doing this. Whereas I can be like, no, I'm the first one. I'll be like, listen, I rate myself as a coach. I'll hands down say that. I am a good coach. But what I want to know is why you're not working. Tell me why you're not working, and I can help you fix yourself. But again, if you feel the need to be better for whatever reason, eventually you're going to get caught out. And I'm quite content with staying in my lane in coaching.
What do you think makes you a good coach?
I would say experience. And it's quite funny because I look back at when I thought I was a good coach, like 5 years ago. And I look back and I'm like, mate, you ain't got a clue. Or I look back at old programming that I've done and I'm like, why have you done that? And you're forever growing. And I'm always trying to educate. I just done, what course I was done? I just finished a course recently on CrossFit. I'm in the middle of doing my High Rocks qualification. Do I need to do my High Rocks qualification? No, but there might be something I learn from it. And if I can learn one thing from it, I'm more than happy to go. And that's how I know I'm a good coach. Because people say bodybuilding shit. No, it's not shit. Powerlifting, Olympic lifting, CrossFit, High Rocks. Like, if you can't see the benefits from all these different things, then I would say you're not experienced enough or you haven't got a depth in knowledge, because all of them are good depending on what your goal is. And if you want to, like High Rocks, for instance, if you want to get fit, do High Rocks. Very low barrier to entry, not a lot of skill. It's just engine work, just going. Is that best for longevity? You look at like the amount of running that they're doing. Do you need to do that much running? No. Would I say you should be able to do a pull-up? Yeah, I think you should. Should you be able to hold yourself upside down? Yes. Do you need to? No. Do you need to do a double under? Definitely not. Steve doesn't do double unders. Like, do you need to do a squat snatch? It's like today. Zach came over. And why have you come today? Like, and I'm going to get found out how crap I am. And it's just like, I don't do them because I don't need to do them, but I should be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and it's like bodybuilding. Do you need massive biceps? No, but if you want to feel good about yourself, chances are it's the first muscle you look at.
No, mate, I definitely do. I look at calves. Fuck biceps, mate.
Yeah, but also, I mean, they were saying that bodybuilders should still have decent calves or like chest. And it's like, it helps people feel good about themselves. Yeah. That's why bodybuilding is good. And again, if you want to leave the gym feeling good, go and do a pump sesh. Go do a quick pump, and you leave the gym feeling good. So it has got its reasons.
Flirt back. So you said like you're going to do a High Rocks course. What the fuck is a High Rocks course?
High Rocks level 1 coach.
But how do surely that's a money grab on High Rocks. Don't get me wrong. There is a time I'm not shitting on High Rocks just because it's fashionable that CrossFitters do shit on it. I'm the same as you. I think there's a time and a place for it. I've done one. I think it's great for fitness, but it's just a CrossFit workout. So how on earth do you do a High Rocks level 1? Do you have to unlearn how to do a wall ball properly or something?
No. So again, a lot of it's to do with the background of High Rocks and how it all started. Again, is it interesting? No. Similar to your CrossFit level 1, They talk a lot about energy systems. A lot of it overlaps. A lot of it is the same. It's just movement. It's just fitness. And, you know, take all the technical stuff out of it. The CrossFit level 1 would be very similar. The only thing is, rather than teaching the push press progressions, they're teaching the wall balls. And believe it or not, on the level 1, they are done to a standard. But it's like every competition, when you get judges that aren't going to pull you up, it now gets a bad name. But then you also see there's been a few clips knocking about on Instagram and various social medias where the judges are doing a job, and now they're getting slated. I know there's one where one bloke, you know, nearly got in a fight with this athlete because he's saying no vet, and he was right. But when the person next to you is getting away with it, who's doing it right and wrong?
Did you see that recently? That video that were going around about high rocks. That guy did it with his missus, and she passed out, and he just carried on doing wall balls while she were getting medical attention.
I mean, that's a touchy subject. That I mean, it's like when I'm training with the missus. Like for me, when I'm training, I'm training. And to be fair, what would you do? Put yourself in that situation. What would you do? You're in the middle of a workout. You're at a high rocks event. Trained professionals have now come to look after your loved one. Do you continue or do you stay?
Well, I'm probably not the greatest person to answer that, and it probably because I'm single, and that's why I'd just leave her to it, mate. As long as she's getting help. I feel like there's a I don't know if she's. I don't know if it was exaggerated or not, but apparently she was unresponsive and he carried on. Like, I get it if she twisted her ankle, I'd be like, yeah, she's all right. She'll get her up. But like, you know, if she's like getting CPR and you're just carrying on with wall balls, it's probably a bit much, isn't it?
If she's getting CPR is one thing, but I see it as what good am I going to be there? Okay, you've got professionals there that are doing a job. It's like, I can quickly finish this, get a time, and then I'll come back and check on you. I'm like, you know, I've come this far. I'm sure there was on the wall balls, wasn't they? They were nearly finished. I'm sure they were nearly finished.
She could have run that.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm just like, check flashes, crack on. I personally would have carried on. I'd have been like, as long as she's got someone there, like, probably glad I'm not there anyway, because I was kicking her telling her to get a grip.
Well, the only thing I can compare it to, given that I'm single, is when I'm doing a workout at home, if the postman knocks on the door, I don't answer it. Like, so maybe that's my comparison.
It's the same but different.
So we've done a bit of coaching, we've done a bit of that kind of good stuff. So let's look at last time we talked on this show. You were about 6, 7 months in. You weren't long into owning 17. Now that, you know, it must be over a year now, isn't it? That you've been.
Yeah, it's 2 years in November.
2 years in November.
2 years in November.
Wow, that has gone fast. So let's just do one thing now. So what do you think, as a business owner of obviously CrossFit 17, what do you think your biggest learn has been in that, let's say, 2 years?
My biggest learn is you're never going to please everyone. Never ever. And when I first got there, I thought I'm going to get everyone singing off the same song sheet. I want everyone to see the vision that I have of 17, or I can pick up their vision, or we can come to some mutual agreement and be like, this is where we're going. Let's all get on board the game train. And, you know, 17 is going to take over Mansfield. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't see eye to eye. Prime example, I might change the plates rather than going from 5s at the top. I put 5s at the bottom, and everyone's like, just lost their head about it. And it can be something else, like, but I will explain why I've done it, but they don't care. And that's it. And it's a case of, well, at some point you just need to be like, this is why I've done it. This is why I think it's best. And don't get me wrong, no decision that I make is made without deep thought. And, you know, I do pass it over quite a few, you know, members of the gym, and, you know, I'll go through a few. And I think this is the best moving forward. But it's always going to upset someone, unfortunately, even though I do it with the best intentions to keep everyone happy.
Yeah. So how do you balance that then? How do you balance that between being, I don't want to say a people pleaser, because I feel this is an interesting subject, actually. Like, so when you're a business owner, you kind of have to be a people pleaser, but you also have to have a clear vision that you believe in. Otherwise, you end up attracting nobody in the long term, don't you? So how do you sort of balance that, do you think?
You don't really balance it, do you? Eventually, it's going to be people that are more like you and want what you want. And they're the people that we're going to attract. But then at the same time, as a business, let's go back to the coaches. I feel like all of our coaches are completely different. You've got me, you might get a well done off me every now and then, but what you are going to get is how to improve. Like 100%, I will tell you what you need to do now to get better is this. Another coach, one of mine, will say you've done great. And you have done good. Like you have done good, but how could you do better? And I mean, and it's like, so it's understanding. Yeah, it's that's what I would say. It's difficult to attract all these different people by myself, which is why, again, I've got all these other different coaches trying to keep them happy. So even though I've pissed them off, they know they're gonna get what they need from them.
And when people get a well done from you, then they're like, they know they've done something good. I feel like that's similar to Elliot, or maybe he says well done to a lot of people, but very rarely to me. I know if Elliot messages me well done about a workout or something, I must have done fucking great, because he doesn't just throw him about. But then it actually means something, as silly as that sounds, even though I know him so well and I consider him one of my best mates. And when he says well done after a workout, I'm like, fucking hell. I walk out like that, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of feeling.
But that's also how it should be. Again, I'm stuck in my ways from the military, because in the military, you hardly ever get a well done. And if you do, you probably stood in front of hundreds of people getting a CO's medal or something. I'm like, I'm not expecting that. And then like, actually, I am actually quite good at this, and I'm been forever beating myself up. Prime example, like, again, left the military a couple of years ago. Even then, I'm getting told I'm doing stuff wrong. I'm not good enough for this. And fast forward 2 years, and I'm running a relatively successful gym. But yet 2 years ago, I was always getting told how to improve, which is what's instilled in me now after all those years.
And then you say there, like, and this, I'm not challenging it because I think you are, but you say you're running a successful gym. What is success to you?
People coming back, more people, more people staying than are leaving. If I'm getting more people coming than are leaving, as far as I'm concerned, I'd say I'm doing something right. If more people are leaving because I keep changing the chalk bucket around, then I'm doing something wrong, and I wouldn't say that's very successful. It's like if you do an event, if you do something, if you don't get the uptake you expect, well, that wasn't successful. As a whole, 17's growing, so I would say we're being relatively successful.
Yeah, and obviously then I guess as well, I know how much passion you have for like seeing the improvement in people as well. Like obviously that's not a sort of, it's not a tangible success almost, is it? Because it doesn't bring, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily correlate to income, but actually it does in a way, because the fitter people get and the better they get, the more people they tell, and then you get more members. So it has its satisfaction and its success that way as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's the retention. Again, like a lot of the stuff I do, it's like the one-to-ones. I've been told by loads of business marketing people I should be charging for them. No, I don't want to charge them. Like they're a one-to-one. Why? Because now they can say at my gym, I've got access to my coach. I can go on there. I can book a half an hour one-to-one. That tends to go on for a lot longer because he cares. He's got access. I do all these sort of things, and I'm not doing it for the financial gain in that moment. I'm doing it to keep that member, so that member can say, I can go to 17 for this. We've got nutrition, we've got health, we've got all these things under one umbrella, rather than trying to, try and gain try and bleed them dry almost.
Yeah.
And it's a case of over a 3-year period, you could get the same money out of them you would in a year, because you've bled them dry and you've charged them for everything. Yeah. But I would rather just don't pay me for that. Just stay for another month. Yeah, and it's like, even some of the members, they want PT. I'm like, I don't want to charge you for PT. Like, just come to class. You can stay for an extra, 4 months, or you can have a couple of PT sessions with me. I'd rather have you for 4 months, or I could take that initial financial benefit there and then, but it doesn't mean anything. I'd rather them see the value long term.
Yeah, and that you say you answered that in a way of like saying you want to keep that member, but it all comes from a point of caring and being passionate about someone's fitness journey, doesn't it? And that's like rare, because I don't know when many people that do that with the one-to-ones. Do you just have like a sort of calendar available then, and people can just book a slot in if they want to come and chat to you? Yeah, I've not heard that before. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I think that's fucking awesome. That's really
and then
cool.
On their birthdays, we send out an email to them so they can come and jump on the InBody. And it's just, at least that way, at least once a year, I know the members have had that opportunity. Once jump on the InBody. So even if they're going it once a year, at least we can see something. And then within the email, it says, now you're a year older. Do you have your goals shifted left or right? And again, it's just now for me to now sit down with them and be like, right, okay, you're no longer 25. You're now 46. Let's stop chasing that 120 kilo snatch, and let's start working on making sure we keep the range of movement, and just encouraging at relevant points in their life. We do need to potentially start thinking about difference in regards to performance and longevity, which are the two big things that I like my members to know the difference of.
How do you sort of I don't know how to ask, when people come to you with, and I don't want specific examples, just a generalization, I guess, when people come to you with unrealistic goals, how do you sort of manage that then? Because you have your unique, blunt way, I'm assuming you don't go, that's fucking stupid, don't do that, because that's not a great way to keep, although I'd respond very well to it, it's not the greatest way for retention. Like, how do you navigate that when people have goals that aren't really realistic? Because then they're going to blame you if they don't reach their unrealistic goals and you haven't told them they're unrealistic. They're blaming 17, they're blaming the coach, and they're blaming the programming. It can't be their fault. How do you sort of manage that?
I'll tell them. Right. Can you see how many people are watching?
Well, it keeps fluctuating between like 8 and then now it's down to 3. So maybe some have just dropped off because they don't want to answer to this, mate.
Yeah, no, there's a special member of the gym. He will know who he is if he's listening. And he says he wanted to be the best at 17. He wanted to be the best. He says he wants to be up there and he wants to challenge the best. And I outright said to him, never going to happen. Never going to happen. You're too old. You don't care enough. You've got too far to go. You're asking me for my own opinion. And I'm telling you, you can't do it. I'm like, Then I followed that up with, to be the best, what do you think you need? And then it was a case of, well, I need this. I'm like, okay. So rather than come to me and say you want to be the best, why not come to me and be like, I want to get this. Couple that with that, and eventually you're going to get there. Now I think you're an idiot because you've just gone straight, I want to win the games. And it's never going to happen. But if you tell me, right, what I want to do, I would love to be able to keep up with you on a rowing workout. How much rowing do you do? I don't. Well, how about you start rowing? Do you want a rowing program? Now let's, do a 2K row, do a 500 meter row, 5K row, whatever it is. Let's test it. Let's do some rowing. Let's come back and check in. Okay, can we maintain that? And now can we work on our gymnastic skills? And eventually, if you dial in more than whoever is the best at 17, you will catch them, because at the moment they're probably not. However, what you now need to think about is time. What you need to think about is how much they're going to improve while you're doing this. So even though I started the conversation with "you're an idiot," I've now left them telling them why I think they're an idiot and how they can potentially still reach their goal.
Yeah.
And so again, it's like I'll still help them, and I'm like, okay, let's start, but this is where we're starting. It's going to be a long and painful journey. But again, it's one of those. The members know. If you're asking me a stupid question, I'm going to let you know, and then I will answer your question. But I'm going to let you know I think you're stupid first. It's a prime example. It's one of those things that when you see, it's like an EMON, minute 1, minute 2, minute 3, minute 4. And then they say, I can't do all that in a minute. I'm like, you're not supposed to run 200 meters, 9 burpee box jump overs, 15 pull-ups and whatever else in a 4-minute window or in a 1-minute window. You've got 4 minutes to do it. And now we're all going to stand, laugh and, give you a round of applause. And now I'm going to answer your question for you and tell you you've now got 4 minutes to do that.
What did they say? There are no stupid questions, just stupid people, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think, I guess when you are that honest, though, obviously, I know we're teasing it a bit now, but when you are that honest, if someone does come to you with an unrealistic goal and you break it down like that for them about what the steps are towards it, then it's still going to be beneficial. So I guess that's a better answer than that's impossible. You're never going to achieve that. It's like, right, this is what you've got to do it. You're still not going to achieve that, but at least you're going to get better and you're going to be on a path to it because, like you said, it's never moving goalposts, isn't it? If you want to be the best at something and you're starting way behind a lot of other people, they're not just going to stop. Their levels are going to go up anyway, aren't they? And that's just life.
But also with that, like you said, I say to myself all the time, I do genuinely wish I could be a nicer person. Like genuinely. Do you know when I see somebody with a coach's coach and I'm like, they're so nice about the way they do things and they're pleasant, but that's not me. And people wouldn't come to me if they wasn't going to get the truth. So it's all well and good. Do you know if you want your hair stroking, if you want to feel good, they're probably not going to come to me straight away. But you know when they're serious and they're like, right, what I need to know is the underlying issue of my problem. Right, I'll go to Etham, he'll tell me. And again, but because I've got that reputation, and I will tell all the members, one of the first things I say, I want to be the biggest arse at the gym so I control that issue. If someone else is a bigger problem than me, I've got a problem as the owner because I now need to control that individual. But if it's me, I'm now in control. And if it's me, I can almost be like, well, it's my train set. If you don't like it, fuck off. I probably wouldn't say that. But if it was someone else, I've now got to have that conversation of you're not fit in this gym because you don't meet the criteria of member or coach or whatever it is that we want here. And I say to all the members, I am the hardest coach to please, to get on with, and everything. So they go in knowing it, and a lot of them be like, yeah, that's what I want. I want that sort of. But then I tell them that I've had 14 years in the military. I tell them why. I tell them that. So I'm not just saying I'm an arse and I disappear. I do let them know why I am that way, so they don't get blindsided by it. And it goes down well, again, because of that honesty.
Well, that's it. Like you said there, you're not a nice person. When did society become like to such a point where the reason you're not a nice person is because you're honest? Like, fuck me. We've been turned around, haven't we? If honesty isn't nice, then you're asking wrong questions.
And again, it's one of the reasons why I kind of left the military, because again, everything's getting so pink and fluffy. It's just like it's not even real anymore, and you've got all these. Yeah, everyone wants to be treated equally. Well, that's not life. You know, there's a rank structure in life, and they should be. So no, I'm not going to treat you the same as them because you're different and you're different for this reason. So shut up and get back in your box, and understand that's your reason. That's where you belong over there for whatever reason that is. Not saying that we can't intermingle, but it's a case of that's your job. go and do your job, go and do your thing, go and act the way you want to act, but don't moan when you come over here and we're doing this. Because again, that's just the way life is, and we can't all be the same. We can't all be, otherwise it's just not reality. And again, will the whole world get on? No. Should the whole world get on? No. Because I believe that if you're good at something, be good at it. Don't devalue yourself. Don't dilute yourself down to please other people. If there's personality clashes, great. Just stay away from each other. Yeah. But if you can please those, great. Stay over there and do that. And we will stay over here and do this. It's like CrossFit and High Rocks. Don't fucking whinge at them. Let them do their thing over there. We'll do our thing over here. If you want to go have a play, go and have a play. But you're not going to go to a middle of a High Rocks event and start waving a CrossFit banner and being like, "Oh, we're better than you because you can't snatch body weight." Yeah. It's like, they're not going to care. You're just going over there acting like an idiot. So, it's like, again, gay pride parade. Why go to a gay pride parade and kick off when everyone? You know what I mean? It's like, let them do their thing, whether you like it or not. That's them. Let them do their thing. You stay over there, and again, just let people be people. But we don't have to bend over and abide to everyone. Just understand that's their corner, and this is our corner almost. And when you do this.
I'm not sure how comfortable I am with you using gay pride and bend over in the same like paragraph. I'm with you on that. Let people be. I am to a point. I am a let people be what they want to be until they start trying to make other people bend to their will and to their opinion. Because those people that try and make you do that, they're the ones that change their opinion because they have no substance to who they are. So they change their opinion so frequently. You look at the mob culture and all the woke fuckers. They're constantly changing what the woke flavor of the month is. So then you can never fit in. I think as a business owner, as I am, as you are, you have to be very true to who you are and what you want and have real good values, because then you attract the right people. If you're constantly jumping from the next trend to the next trend to the next trend, you end up eventually appealing to no one, don't you? Because there's nothing real about you. There's no substance to what you say, no substance to what you're doing. And I think that's a hard thing to navigate in business sometimes, because people do, especially when you're in the service industry, you need people to like you. You need people to want to come to your place. So it's very easy to jump on trends just to make yourself more like palatable to the vocal minority and things like that. And that's one of the things we say at Defiant. Like, we never do, because we're just defiant. And if we need to be anything, we can just lean back on defiance as our message. Because if we don't, if we don't display honest values, eventually you end up with fucking no one. And that's one of my biggest bugbears of society right now. Hence why I've just gone on that rant for the last however long. But yeah, I think it's hard, isn't it?
But also, you need to, again, turn around and say no to. I've had companies want to approach me, want to sell products in the gym. I'm like, let me try it. I'm like, no, don't like it, not having it. Even though, again, I know other gyms that use certain products. Let's use supplements, for instance. There's like loads of hydration things going around. And I've tried some of them. I'm like, no, I don't like it. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to put it on you as a member to buy it, because I don't believe in it. Yeah. Whether it might be good, but I don't like the way you're packaging it. I don't like the brand. I don't like the person behind the scenes. There's something I don't like about it. So no. And mentioned to Zach today, he's bringing a hydration thing on. I'm like, oh, awesome, because it's trending now at the moment. Everyone's wanting this. I'm like, great, because we don't really have that at the gym at the moment, because I've had one or two products in, didn't really like it, didn't like the way it was packaged, didn't like the way they communicated with me. And I thought, nah, not interested. Go somewhere else. And that's just me staying true to the people I want to promote and the companies I want to work with.
Yeah. And people don't always see that, do they? They think they've got to say yes to everyone, but that's good. That just shows good values from you in the gym. Yeah, you can make money off this, but if it isn't something you believe in, and it's just how you make those connections with people. Like we're at the moment, because we're expanding our print services, we've been to meet up with a few different people that can provide some of the stuff we need in order to do what we need to do to Defiant print service to the next level. And the difference in approach through two people that we met with, one took us to when we got to their offices, took us to a boardroom, sat us down, asked what our goal was, and then talked about products. The other one talked about products and then tried to make our goal match his product.
Yeah.
And we come out of those meetings, me and Tori, both with the exact same opinion. We came out of one and went, absolutely love them. That's who we're going to work with. Came out of the other going, you're a bit of a dick. And it's like they both had the same products, almost identical, but just how it was, who we believed in, how they spoke to us, how they approached us. And like, I'm bringing that back around. The reason I mentioned that is like when someone walks into CrossFit 17 and the first thing they do is sit down and have a one-to-one with you, you're literally doing what that first guy did. You're asking them what the goals are, and then you're showing them how you can help them meet those goals. And that's what service is about. And that's why people will keep coming back. And I love that.
Yeah, again, but it's that caring thing. Everyone says, "Oh, why is your gym the best?" Oh, coaches and community, because why do you do your job? Or because I care. And I say, show me your community. What happens with your community? Again, CrossFit Comet, shout them out. Absolutely amazing gym. What Dan and Lizzie and all those are doing over there. We've got Battle of the Boxers this weekend. They're closing their gym on a Sunday.
I saw that.
And I'm like, wow. That's mega. Like, literally closing the gym, everyone lifting and shifting over to 17. We've got 20 athletes competing. Get over there and support them. And I'm like, that's mega. It just shows that, they've got a good tight-knit community. They're all willing, because I guarantee you, they probably could have had one person stay there, open the gym for a couple of hours to please those one or two that wanted to train. But instead they've been like, no, we're all going over there. Let's go and get behind the athletes, which I think is mega.
Tell us a bit about Battle of Boxers then, because before we wrap up, like you said, that's coming up on Sunday. Talk to us about that a little bit.
So it's the second year of doing Battle of the Boxers. We invite the local affiliates down. This year we've got Comet. They won it last year. Us, and we have CrossFit Defiant from Derby. They're coming over. And again, it's a competition where you are competing for your gym, not a set category, RX scaled, intermediate, etc. So every workout is the same. And within that, every workout, they are high skill elements, but yet it's all inclusive. So everyone will have a part to play in every workout. And this year we've really pushed the boat out. Every workout I've tried to make, I'm working with Matt Tyler coaching, obviously Defiant, shout out Matt. He's helped with the programming, and we've made sure every workout to an extent isn't something you can just go and do in the gym. I don't want workouts where you can replicate in the gym in your own time. We want workouts, you get fit in the affiliate, and I want the workouts to almost be a test. So, for instance, like one of the workouts, it's a run, 1.6K run. You've then got a 1,000-meter kayak around the lake, and then a 1.6K run back, which I think is mega. Like,
does everyone kayak?
No. So again, not everyone has to. So it's a run out, and then two people will get onto the water. They're going to go for the 1,000-meter kayak. The other two people are going to go for a 2K run, and then they're all going to meet back and then run back to the gym. So again, those that want to get on the water can, but not everyone has to. And it's the same with all the workouts. There's certain elements that not everyone has to do. It's up to you within your team to work out who's going to run, who's going to do that, who's going to do different parts.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we've got that at the weekend. Again, last competition, they said it would be good to have a kids workout in there. So in the lunch break, we've got the kids having their little throwdown to give them a moment on the dance floor. And again, last year there's loads of kids, so we've got bouncy castles this year as well, so the kids can stay entertained. Luckily we've got a huge car park, so again we can just pen the kids in, get them on the bouncy castle, because that tends to be the biggest issue. Childcare, or we can't come because it's great, bring them. We've got a bar there, so again there's a lot of spectators coming over that aren't competing, so they can have a drink. It's bank holiday Sunday after all. So again, they can still enjoy having a drink. We've got a barbecue. And yeah, I'm just trying to make it, again, that community side of it. So rather than going there with just your friends, you've got your whole gym. And I'm trying to encourage, again, that CrossFit community. I want the fact that Comet have closed the gym is exactly what I want. I want the whole gym to lift and shift and be like, this is CrossFit. Even if you're not competing, you're still coming over with the gym to see, to take part, encourage. And that's like the message that I want to try and push off. It's all well and good going to your big comps, doing all your fancy movements, by yourself in your elite workouts. But I also want something for those members that are a little bit newer, that still want that big competition feel. You go to like Strength in Depth, for instance, and they're doing, the swimming workouts. And you think, oh, I'd love to do that. But you're probably never going to qualify for it. So now it's a case of, great, I'm trying to utilize the local resources that I've got, working again with the local community, with the local places we've got. We've got a running track, Berry Hill, that's going to come on to play in one of the competitions we've got coming up soon. And again, just trying to go above and beyond and do a little bit more than what most people are doing. Yeah,
I love that, mate. And I love that you've got a bar, because as we all know, nobody thinks they're cooler than a CrossFitter with a pint. It's like they walk around like they've got like a 6-foot dick when they've got a pint. CrossFitters, there's something about it that seems to make them think they're cool. And that Berry Hill, you mentioned that, me and Nathan, a few from project, you'll have to see if we can figure out a date. We're going to do a burpee broad jump mile, and I think that's the track we're going to use, because you can just rock up, you can pay, can't you, in advance and just use it.
Yeah, we've got a running club, and that's where we go quite.
Yeah. How long do you think that'll take, a burpee broad jump mile? What do you reckon?
I genuinely wouldn't have a clue. Ask Zach George. I bet he'll know, won't he, with the charity work he's doing.
Oh, is that? Are they doing something like that?
Yeah, it's a lot further than a mile. But there's that impossible mile as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's like bear crawl a mile, burpee, lunge, and then run a lap. No, it's a lap.
400 meter each in it. Yeah. The burpee broad jump mile would be worse than that, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. But I would say it's a good starting place.
Yeah. Right, mate. I reckon we're done at that, unless there's any more call-outs you want to make before we go. I know you've got your red light on now. I don't know what that means over there in Mansfield, but...
It's red light. Letting the neighbours know it's go time.
Right, mate. Well, I will see you on Sunday at Battle of the Boxers, because I'm going to pop over and see what's happening. But cheers for jumping on, and thanks for having us today. We did a bit of a shoot for these new tees that we're both sporting. So, yeah. But yeah, thanks, mate. Oh, there they go. Right,
take it easy.
Stay on for a sec, mate. I'll just end live. Cheers, mate.
Bye.